I'm Hanna, 22. The courthouse steps are bathed in the morning sun, and the voices echoing off the marble floors are like a symphony of justice. I'm here, facing the family that once discarded me, with Gordon and my shop crew standing behind me. The worn edge of Grandpa Henry's work watch feels soft against my wrist as I trace it, a reminder of all I've endured. Just a few months ago, I was living in my small 800-square-foot house. I'd bought a second-hand armchair from a thrift store on Elm Street, and it sat crookedly in the corner of my living room. I was looking forward to a quiet life of my own, but then the doorbell rang. My father, Richard, and mother, Elizabeth, along with my twin sister Lily and her 4 kids, showed up unannounced. Richard had a fake smile on his face, and Elizabeth was looking around my house with a look of disdain. Lily looked exhausted, with dark circles under her eyes. The kids were like a whirlwind, running into my living room before I could stop them. Richard said they were there to rebuild the family under one roof, but I remembered how they'd treated me. When I was 17, Elizabeth had told me that Lily needed the space for her baby's nursery, and I had to figure things out on my own. That night, I packed my belongings into Grandpa Henry's old truck. I firmly told them they weren't welcome, but they didn't take it well. Elizabeth called me selfish, and I retorted that they'd thrown me out at 17 and I'd raised myself. More neighbors came out to watch the commotion. 2 days later, I received a certified letter from an attorney. Lily was suing me for my house, claiming family equity. I was devastated but also determined to fight back. I found an attorney named Ava Thompson, who specialized in family property disputes. When I told Ava my story, she asked about any inheritance from Grandpa Henry. It hit me like a ton of bricks. Grandpa Henry had promised me that when I turned 18, there'd be money for college, a fresh start. But he died 3 months before my 18th birthday, and I never saw a dime. Ava dug into the bank records and found that $80,000, earmarked for my education, had been withdrawn 2 days after my 18th birthday. The transfer papers had my parents' signatures. They'd stolen what was meant to be my new beginning. Ava said we had a strong case and filed a countersuit for fraud and inheritance theft. She needed evidence of how I'd survived after being thrown out. I brought her a box full of work records, bank statements, and photos of me sleeping in the truck. Gordon, my boss at the auto shop, was my character witness. He told Ava how he'd found me curled up in the truck on a rainy morning and offered me a job instead of pity. He said he'd never seen anyone work as hard as me, often working 16-hour days. As the lawsuit progressed, my parents tried all sorts of intimidation tactics. Richard showed up at the auto shop, but Gordon threw him out. My neighbors rallied around me, bringing me food and helping me install security cameras. At Ava's office, we practiced my testimony. When my parents and Lily showed up at the office unannounced, I decided I was done running. I faced them head on and told them I'd see them in court. The day of the trial arrived. Lily's lawyer claimed it was a simple case of family equity, but Ava presented our evidence of theft. Lily took the stand first, trying to paint me as the one who'd chosen to leave. But I kept my composure. Richard testified next, saying the inheritance was meant for both of us, but Ava's cross-examination exposed their selfish spending on vacations and a new car. Gordon's testimony was like a hammer blow to their lies, highlighting my hard work and determination. The judge's questions cut through their pretense. In the end, the judge dismissed Lily's case with prejudice and ruled in my favor. My parents were ordered to repay the $80,000 plus 5% annual interest and $25,000 in punitive damages for emotional distress and legal fees. After the trial, reporters swarmed me with questions. I told them it wasn't about winning. It was about truth and the difference between the family I was born with and the family I'd built. I walked away from my biological family, with Gordon and my chosen family by my side. 6 months later, I'm watering my marigolds in the morning light. The certified check from my parents sits unopened on the porch swing. My house has become a home filled with memories of my hard-won success. A young girl, about 16, named Mia, peers through the window at the auto shop. I see the same desperation in her eyes that I once had. I remember how Gordon had given me a chance when I was at my lowest. I tell Mia we need someone to sweep the shop, and she can start right away. As she follows me inside, I know I'm passing on the hope and opportunity that was once given to me. The sun climbs higher, and I'm ready to face whatever the future holds, knowing that I've built a life on my own terms.